And this is Majin, and I got a stack of books today. So what I'll probably do is do some quick ones and then some a little bit more in-depth ones. Let's take a look at Sabrina number 5. This book is freaking amazing. This was also tied for my book of the week. This is such a dark and twisted book. There's like witch's trial in here. There's bringing back the dead. People die. The artwork is just fantastic. It has this really old and creepy vibe to it, especially when dealing with the witches. They make they don't pretend that this is a dark and evil book where you hear during the trial witches are going, "Hail Satan," and it's just like, this is an Archie book, and you just don't see that kind of stuff with Archie. And you have Betty and Veronica, who are like basically witches in training. This is just insanity. This is so freaking good. And basically this, for those of you who don't know, this issue here is in the middle of a revenge plot where there's like a witch. She feels she was betrayed, she was killed, and she comes back, and now she's trying to get her vengeance on she's trying to get her vengeance through Sabrina. And this is like one of the best horror type books out there, because it's the whole thing. It's the art, it's the writing, it's how dark and twisted it is. It's seeing innocent characters perverted, so to and it's just awesome. Highly recommend it. Buy the trade and get Afterlife with Archie too. You will be highly rewarded. Make sure you give it to your younger brother too. I'm sure the younger brother would love reading about that stuff. Just kidding. Don't really mean that, because it is an adult book. Next up is HannaBarbera's Future Quest, put out by DC. Now, I'll admit, I really didn't give this book any chance whatsoever, but I thought, at the last possible second, let's do it. This book was pretty decent. They have pretty good art overall, and it's an introduction introduction comic where you have Space Ghost, you have Johnny Quest, you have Birdman, and they're setting the stage for their big comic launch, so to speak. And they do a really, really great job. There's a little bit of nostalgia if you've watched some of these cartoon series. And in this issue here, it's basically they're setting the stage for everything merging, so to speak. You got the Herculoids at the very end here. So overall, I'm still kind of torn if I'm going to get this or not. But I really did enjoy this issue, and I think I'm going to get more of these, because it was just kind of like a really fun read. Really well done overall. Karnak. Now, I know I haven't been bringing Karnak up, but this is probably the best Inhumans book out there. It's basically, Karnak it's a solo book, and he is like the devil himself. He basically is hired by a family to look for a third kid, and he's working with S.H.I.E.L.D. with that. And this is not the happy-go-lucky Karnak that you might have seen in the Fantastic Four. This is a Karnak that basically kills, and Ellis has done a great job with this book and really makes his character scary. He already has the power to find the fault or the weak spot in anything, and he can destroy it. And he's doing a fantastic job with this book. Highly recommend it. I'm not sure if comic shops are going to have first issue anymore, because they probably didn't order a lot and they're probably sold out. So look for the trade on this. SpiderMan number 4. Really, really enjoyed this book also. Miles gets basically jacked up by his best friend, because his best friend is idol worshipping gold balls, and then he's trying to get Miles to go over with him to talk to the guy, and inadvertently one of his balls ends up in their food. So they start talking, and right from the very beginning, Miles' buddy's like, "Oh, he's Spider-Man," and I'm like, it's like that nightmare if you were a superhero, like the one critical secret that you never want anybody to know, and your buddy just blurts it out right from the beginning. So things go from bad to worse from there. After that, it's dealing with Hammerhead, and Miles' day is not good. Great art, great story, writing, everything. This is the Spider-Man book to read. Over amazing. I mean, it's hard to believe, but that is the truth. Old Man Logan 6. This was a fantastic book also. Again, I mean, this was a really hard week for me to find the book of the week. Old Man Logan, everything from the art, story, writing, everything. You have basically Logan going back. Keep in mind this is a Logan from another time. I mean, not another time, another world. And he's basically trying to protect somebody, trying to protect his wife that he had and then who was killed. Even though, she doesn't know that, that history because, she's from a different Earth. And he just wants to basically live a peaceful life. Well, that ain't happening because our 616 Logan's enemies come looking for him. And once they hear he's back. And people start dying, and Logan is basically the Logan we love it to watch because he's pulling out his claws and he's killing. Overall, this was a great story. I'm really looking. I mean, I kind of groaned a little bit at the end of 5, and I was like, "Oh, it's these guys again." But I was like, after this issue, I was like, "Okay, I'm on board. I want to see what's going to happen. People are going to die, and I can't wait." Spider-Woman number 7. Great book. Best part of this book is this guy over here. He claims to be Jessica's brother, but he's not. He basically is Jessica's version, a version of Jessica in Spider-Gwen's world. And because this is all part of the Spider-Women story thing. But anyways, what's going on here is, I mean, they're battling it out. I mean, they're playing nice in front of the baby, but once the baby goes to sleep, they start battling, and as soon as the baby starts crying, then it's time out. And then they start talking again. And I thought that was like, it's one of those things that it's like, you don't see every day in a comic. And it was just a lot of fun to read it. Even though there's some seriousness going on around it, overall, it was really enjoyable. I mean, Spider-Woman has been a great book. I just hope that they can continue with this thing. Continue the momentum with it because it's really, really a good read. Surprisingly. Uncanny Avengers number 9. All right. Let's cut to the chase on this one. This is dealing with the return of Hank Pym. And people are not happy with his return because he basically has Ultron's body. And anytime you have Ultron's body with a Pym, that can only mean trouble. And so everybody's on edge. And it's going to go from there. The art was good. The story was okay. I mean, for me, it's kind of like... I guess for me, I hate seeing the reveal right at the beginning. Like this issue here, yeah, it's the return of Hank Pym, but couldn't you have built up the return? Don't tell us it's Hank. Don't even tell us it's Ultron. Don't tell us anything, but do something to make us wonder who this person is, and then bang, it happens. Versus, hey guys, I'm back. Miss me? And same thing with the endings, beginnings and endings in today's comics. They don't. It's basically part of it's probably there's an issue count where they can't have all these plot threads floating around, and the other part is they're probably thinking that the readers of today don't have the proper attention to last 3 or 4 issues to let a story develop appropriately before they get into the meat of it. They just have to give you the meat right from the beginning, and then it's just like, oh, it was just okay, but I needed something more. Where's my appetizer? But anyways, I mean, it was a decent Uncanny Avengers. Definitely not like the good book of the week or anything like that, but it's like solid average. Anyways, that is my books for the week. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Let me know what you guys picked up, what you guys liked, what you didn't like. We'll have some more reviews later. And until next time.